Hi and welcome to my video. Today I will talk about the Photoshop interface and show you how to create a custom workspace for photography. So let's get started. The Photoshop interface consists of everything you see in Photoshop. This includes the image viewing area, the document tab area, the menu bar, the toolbar, the active tool properties bar, panels and panel groups, collapsed panel icons, and the zoom level and status bar. The Photoshop interface can be modified to create custom workspaces. Photoshop comes with 6 unique workspaces, and you can create your own workspaces to suit your individual needs. Within a workspace, you can remove or add tools from the toolbar and move the toolbar, remove or add items from the menu bar, remove or add panels, and finally add a panel to a panel group. Now I will show you these techniques in Photoshop. Let's look at the toolbar first. On the left side of the Photoshop interface is the toolbar, and you can see all the tools. If I click and hold on a particular tool, it opens up the tool group, and you can see the tools that are in that tool group. There's another one. If I want to edit the toolbar, I go under the Edit menu item down here and select Toolbar. That brings up the Customize Toolbar panel. On the left side of the toolbar panel is the active tools in the toolbar, and if I remove tools from the toolbar, I just simply drag them over to the extra tools, and now they aren't part of the active Photoshop toolbar. I can also move tools out of a tool group. I could move a tool into another tool group. I can move it back to where it was originally. If you want to change the shortcut of a tool, and that's denoted by the letter to the right of the tool, and you'll also notice that tool groups have a single letter assigned to that tool group, and so you can assign different letters for a shortcut to that tool group if you want. And lastly, you can save your settings as a preset. Now we'll look at the Photoshop menu bar. The menu bar is located on top of the Photoshop interface, and you can see all the menus up here. If you click on one, it opens up all the submenu items under that main heading. To edit the menu bar, go under Edit, Menus, brings up the Keyboard Shortcuts and Menus panel. And what you can do here is I can open up a particular menu heading, such as the 3D in this case, and I can turn the visibility of that submenu item on or off. And so I'll turn off the new 3D layer from File menu item. You can also change the color of a menu item. And let's go to this one and change it to yellow. Now if I click OK and I go under the 3D menu, that menu item that I changed to yellow is now yellow. And when you turn the visibility of any submenu item off, you get this menu item at the bottom that says Show All Menu Items. And so you can click on that to bring back the ones that are hidden. Now we'll look at keyboard shortcuts. If I open up the Edit menu, for example, you can see a keyboard shortcut next to the submenu item. For example, Edit Copy is Command C or Control C on Windows. If I want to edit the keyboard shortcuts, I'll continue down here in the Edit menu under Keyboard Shortcuts. And when I open up a menu item, you can see the keyboard shortcut displayed here. Some do not have keyboard shortcuts, and so you can edit these keyboard shortcuts, or you can add a keyboard shortcut to one that doesn't have a shortcut. Just keep in mind that the new keyboard shortcut or the edited keyboard shortcut cannot match an existing keyboard shortcut. Now I'll show you how to add, remove, or move a panel in Photoshop. Again, the toolbar is over on the left, and over on the right are some panels, and these are in panel groups. For instance, the color, swatches, gradients, and patterns panels are in this panel group at the top, and down here we have the layers, channels, and paths panels in this panel group. To move a panel, such as the toolbar over here on the left, I simply click and drag, and I can drag it anywhere I want. Here I dragged it into the image viewing area. If I drag it over here to the right, when you come to a border, you see a blue line. And I can let go of the mouse when that blue line appears, and now the toolbar is positioned over here on the right. I can remove a panel from a panel group, such as the gradients panel. Just simply drag it out into the main viewing area. This little double arrow up here is to collapse that into a smaller panel, or I can maximize it. The X will delete it from my workspace. And panels are all contained in the window menu, and you can bring them back at any time. Such as that gradients panel, I click on that, and there it is. And to put it back in a panel group, I hover over that panel group, and you see the blue box around the panel group, and I can let go there, and now it's part of that panel group. If I want to make it a panel unto its own out of a panel group, drag it and look for the blue line above or in between or clear down at the bottom, and let go, and now that panel is all by itself. Now I'll show you how to create a custom workspace in Photoshop. And I'm going to show you how to create one geared towards photography. The first thing I want to do is modify the existing workspace to suit my needs. And if I go under the window menu under workspace, the active workspace is the default essentials workspace in Photoshop. So I'm going to go to the photography workspace that's part of Photoshop. And now I have a good starting point. First thing I want to do is I like to have the tools all in one area with the panels. I don't like to have to go back and forth from one side of the Photoshop interface to the other. So I'm going to click and drag on this toolbar and drag it over here. I see the blue line. I let go, and now my toolbar is over here next to my panels. Many times with photography related work in Photoshop, you're using the layers and the channels panel, sometimes one after the other. And so it's nice to have them separated instead of having the channels in the layers panel group. And so I'm going to simply click and drag the channels panel, and you can see it breaks it out. I'm going to go down to the bottom, and there's a blue line on the bottom. I'll let go, and then I'll drag that border up. And now you see that the channels panel is separate from the layers panel. Next thing I want to do is go under window and bring out the brushes panel. And there it is. It comes with the brush settings panel, and I'm going to drag that into the histogram and navigator panel group. And now I have brushes available to me whenever I want, along with the histogram, the navigator. Okay, so I have my workspace the way I want it. And so the last thing I need to do is save this as a new workspace. And I can go under the window menu, under workspace, new workspace, or I can go under this little icon up here in the upper right, and down here, new workspace, and I'm going to call this my photography workspace. And in case I want to later add custom keyboard shortcuts, menus, or toolbar settings, I'm going to check those boxes so that any of those changes would be part of this workspace. And so now I can switch between workspaces. I can go back to Essentials, and I can go back to my photography workspace up here in the top. That's where all the custom workspaces are contained. And it takes me right to that workspace. This ends my video on the Photoshop interface in creating custom workspaces. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.